We had a massive bear trap triggering this morning. Do we have lows in this little correction here? We'll talk about that and more. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025. If you guys like the video, you can give it a like, comment your thoughts. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, it is a pretty interesting day here. I'll say interesting. And I will attempt to take you into the close because the closing price is going to be important here. But what we had here, at least in my opinion, this is one of the worst tapes, probably the worst tape I've traded really all year. I talked to you guys about not chasing momentum in the morning yesterday, and it was kind of half true. We did get the kind of reversal that I was thinking we would get, but it did come in the afternoon, and this was a little tricky one here. So we had kind of like this ODTE beat down all day and up until the lunch hour, of course. And there was a lot of strikes coming up here. We knew 6650 was going to get tagged, and it did. And it got pierced. It ended up being just below the low of the day. Q's 600 was, right in that vicinity as well. But we also had below that 660 SPY, massive short puts down there. And at this, if you guys didn't catch this, if you guys weren't trading it, it's hard to describe, but this was like tedious. It was very drawn out. There was no, every 5 point bounce was getting sold, and there was no panic. It was very orderly. And I've seen these types of tapes before where it's just like the market wants to get to that strike and it doesn't care, and it's ODTE driven, and so even the market wants to rally, but whoever's controlling it isn't letting it, and they'll just push it down there and get it to close. So I thought at some point here, I was like, well, maybe the trap was like yesterday's close, which I didn't really think was the case because we sold off. So I was looking for this right here and then kind of V shape. And we did get the V shape, we did get the trap, but the destination was a little different. I guess it makes sense. You rally in the afternoon, there's less time for shorts to regroup. But it was very strange to not see that. We'd see us get that close to that short put and not just fill it. And if I had seen that fill, I would have came on this video and said the government shutdown's going to end this week because of that fill. But also because of gold. And gold got a huge bid in the middle of the day, and actually we had a position in this in the trading room. We actually unloaded just into the 370 handle, just below that, and just holding a runner into the weekend. But that to me was almost like this look where the market's throwing a tantrum, like, all right, like that's it, Congress, like get it together, and or somebody knows it's going to end and they're buying gold because that would be beneficial, right? More spending, more liquidity. Why wouldn't they be buying spiders? Oh, well, they would at 660 with that fill. So that was something I was kind of considering could happen, but it didn't, and we pushed off the lows. So nice squeeze here. I'm going to take you into the close because this is important. We got to hold above this low here. Like, it's a nice squeeze, but it's nothing unless we can like reclaim and hold above these. So we don't have to close green, but we need to negate that pivot, in my view here, in order to continue upside Monday. And that might seem kind of like dramatic, but I mean, if you go back to the 28th of Feb, we had a beautiful squeeze, and I was a part of that on Friday. And the next day was just a massive gap and crap that led to another big downdraft. So when we're in a sell the rip regime, that is the case until a prior support reclaims, right? So I want to see that. And this is the longest downdraft we've had since the lows, right? This is like 8 days. So 1 day, 2 days, 8. So definitely important. I think right now, there is now room finally for bears to work with 50 MA is holding, but there is now room for a lower high, so a lower high attempt at least. So if you're bears, you can try that, and I think you'll get a defense. And if it doesn't work, it should be pretty apparent quickly, but you should at least get a retrace. We could look at 680. There's a 618 up there. Those are certainly targets to look for, but just saying here, if that gets pushed below by the close, it's I've seen it happen before. But we could gap down one day. We could gap down. It's a squeeze. It's nice, but you have to follow through here. I think it will. A couple of reasons for that. IWM green, and it was the first to go green, even faster than the diamond. So small caps showing strength and leadership. Yeah, I know. I hope you're sitting down for that one. Dow Transport's up 1.5%. Not just green, up 1.5. New highs going back to August, and it's literally going to close at the high of the week. You got that. Brad, this is something I pointed out early in the morning, right like at 9:45. 371 advancers. XHB up 85 cents, so some strength there. Regional banks up 1.25. Wow. XLF up 70 basis points. HYG, JNK, LQD, all holding up for the most part. LQD down, but nothing terrible. And gold up. Gold's been a positive correlation with the NASDAQ for a while. So I would give bulls the benefit of the doubt right now. VIX going red here. But there is room for bears for a lower high for the first time in a long time. So that's the dynamic that I see right now. Also really strong. We'll talk about energy when we get to it, but impressive. Bitcoin, nice rebound today too, specifically alts. So right now, obviously 67.50. That'll be a level Monday. Should we try to gap higher? Now, if we get, again, this is just speculating, but if there is shutdown news and it's positive, we could go much higher. So, you can just go to the gamma walls and look at that. It'll probably change, but I would just say your 618 here, 68.10. Downside though, we lose this pivot here. I don't think there's much support to the 100 MA. So just looking at both sides here. QQQ, high or low, nice defense of the 50. Good look there. Stocks like Tesla held as well. Palantir, green on the day. Ugly bull trap, but it's holding up. Apple hanging in there all day long. That is still at the highs and still has a consolidation pattern. Google holding up as well. Microsoft, also a nasty bull trap, but trying to hang on. Meta, and a lot of you guys picked this up. I talked about it yesterday. It's given back over 50% of the April rally and hit a 618 today. I know a lot of you guys are playing this. I am too. But just be aware, if this is, we do have a bigger correction, this is leading to the downside, right? Look at all the Mag 7 stocks we just looked at, right? Right? Broadcom. It's leading to the downside. Microsoft, 200 MA, that power gap, said do not fade that, right? As above, so below, right? Gap below the 200. So careful, take profits quick, don't get greedy. You can leave runners, but don't get greedy. Nice to see it close green though after the 618 reaction. Big put while at 600 too. Anyway, diamond, now green on the day, so good move there. Holding the 50. Same thing with the Russell. And yeah, it's holding that green bar low there. So it lives to fight another day. Semis held 340. IGV looking to close green there as well. Mentioned the transports already. TLT, flattish. Honestly, it was kind of quiet day for interest rates. Where's my, and I'm getting the wrong stuff on here. Yeah, I forgot my images. There we go. We go to the 2-year green. was down earlier. So I think maybe a little bit of a growth scare kind of related. Again, like I said yesterday, a lot of these AI names, it's clear profit taking. Right? You guys are spending so much money here, and these earnings report, they've done nothing but sell since then. So good strong close here. XHB we mentioned, holding the 200. I'm watching this on the weekly for, you got an inside bar here, but I think that could fail. But it needs more time. IYR, strong close on the week. XLF, yep, bidding into the close. KRE bidding into the close. Good to see that. Broker dealer is also holding that that 1,000 level for the 20th time. Oil up 37 cents. But again, there's a discrepancy. There's a divergence here. Look at XLE up 1.4. Exxon up 2.36. That's a big move for Exxon. Chevron up 1 1/3. Conoco up 1 1/3. XOP falling wedge breakout up 2%. OIH up 0.5%, but you got a bull flag here, and that 20 MA is starting to catch up. That should add fuel to that. Market closing 3, 2, 1 here. There's the bell. Cleared 670, so good close. Dollar backed off. It came off the lows, so buyers not giving up here. This still has room to pull back. And again, I think it's a bigger WV pattern. So don't write off the dollar yet. Gold up 0.5%. Again, hit the 370 call wall. We talked about that. I think this can move higher next week. Silver's in good shape too. Platinum, not much going on there with the alt metals, and same thing with copper. I haven't talked about Natgas in a long time. I'll just mention this. Treat the gold front next week like it's a stock that's running up into earnings. Just throwing that out there. Bitcoin up 2 1/4, ETH up 4 1/2. Not bad. Sol hanging in there too. Doge 10%. Polkadot 20. Litecoin 16. Greatest coin ever, up 19. So that was a clear indication of, and again, I looked at this morning too, because the IWM showed strength early. So I was kind of expecting a rebound here. I definitely was thrown off though by the timing. S&P finished green. That's a strong close. So I'll give it the upside bias in the next week. But bears, they have a chance here to, probably this is their best chance in a long time. Right, there's actually space to work with now. But 50 MA holding, and you know, we closed below 67, 64 on the weekly. So you could make a case that's a failed breakout. One last thing, where did Nvidia close? Oh, well, you got to use the weekly. Looks great, looks bullish, but it closed below that weekly candle. So I'd just say 180 needs to hold there. Anyway, guys, I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all next week.